This is a brief sketch of my 12-dimensional mind space. Things I just jot down, and I look at them because it's a model. Okay, I mean you can see how it's a model. Okay, this is the mind. That's the 12-dimensional. That's the mind in the 12-dimensional mind space, and you can also refer to it as consciousness. That's the wave, and I know it looks a lot like a swastika in a sense, and it is the A to B wave form between the A to B form wave or the omega wave that's between mind and particle, which is body. Okay, and then that's a musical circle in relationship to the breakdown. That's comparing gravity to sound and saying that each frequency that gravity has various frequencies similar to that of sound, and I'm using sound measurements, F sharp, E, D sharp. There is no sharp within C, and then A to B as the 2.9 particle wave. That's a 2.9. That's the rate of the particle wave. It's 2.9, and then at the bottom, that's or the wave associated with the particle, and that's the particle. Now that's only in 3 dimensions. Okay, so and that's gravity. That's entropy, and that's entropy by the S, and then that's me showing that there's a weak side. This is the boson field, or boson force, and I'm saying that the boson force equals gravity. Now I'm probably gonna put a question mark on that because I don't know that the boson force equals gravity. I'm just asking that question that the boson force equals gravity, and then so I'm saying that on each side of this boson force, that the boson force or this is the asymmetrical, more so the asymmetrical side of gravity. Okay, as far as my equation is concerned, and these four forces, see the four forces, are coming out of this. See there's the four forces, the four fundamental forces or elemental forces: gravity, electromagnetic energy, and weak and strong. And I'm showing the polar difference in the two. So I'm saying that gravity is strong, is symmetrically strong, and then asymmetrically weak, and that from that asymmetrical force, there's the boson force that constitutes mass in relationship to matter, and then there's this entropy. Entropy is at the center, the low on the strong side of gravity, and the weak and the weak on the high on the weak side of gravity. And see, that's also that the information is contained within gravity, and so therefore consciousness is within gravity as well, in relationship to low entropy being a more conscious derived state, and then high entropy being being a less conscious derived state. And then there's this inertia, that's derived from that is the force associated with entropy. That's the theory. And then that gravity vibrates at these various frequencies similar to that of sound, because sound is just a representation of gravity in relationship and the way that sound carries upon as a result of air and gravity's interaction. So that's so the gravitational variations is what so that's my 12-dimensional mind space, and it continues, and it has various fucking applications, but that's in 3 dimensions. See, that's the first dimension, but it's 3 dimensions in itself. That's the first dimension, and see this dimension, the second dimension. Even though it's 3 dimensional, it's itself is 3 dimensional. You can see 4 dimensional representation within it. The square representation, that's space. That represents the space that occurs after the fourth dimension in relationship to the fifth and the sixth and so on and so on. And then, then there's 3 dimensions here. And see, now, my wife can make these, dimensionally accurate. I don't need to make these dimensionally accurate because they don't need to be dimensionally accurate. They just need to be dimensionally representative of the idea that this is a triangulated and you put them together and you get your, and that, it looks like a swastika and all that other shit, because they have connections to the unconscious mind and their manifestation of the conscious mind. You put these together and you get, the Star of David. And that swastika represents actually or what we refer to the swastika is, it's happiness and joy in the original Darvidian, then Aryan, Vedic viewpoint. But it also represents the snake, represents the Kundalini, the eruption. See these images in music, which is actually just the frequencies derived from sound that sound makes. Those frequencies can be associated to gravity because gravity makes, similar frequency modulations. I mean, that's why A has the association it has in relationship to Hertz output. Each corresponding chord has a frequency output associated with it. So we're also talking about frequency outputs in relationship and how those frequency outputs affect, wave dispersal, which is, again, the Doppler effect in relationship to wave dispersal, and that's a whole fucking different thing. And as far as the Doppler effect, and I got a whole bunch of stuff written down in relationship to Doppler effects and wave dispersal and the space between waves and so on and so forth, and other these little things that you have to work out in relationship to like a model of this scope. There's weed in there. I mean, it's not really weed in this. I mean, it is. It's resin and shit. And the thing is cracked at the bottom, so all the weed fell to the bottom. So I got to go in there and get it. But so that's when I say I look at my notes and I make notes. That's what they look like. And so, I mean, I can go through all these other little fucking notes that I jot down and stuff that I posted that shows that it's a working two-dimensional model, which I can extract real world three-dimensional perspectives of the natural, physical, and metaphysical universe and how it operates, by narrowing down these improbabilities. I know, it's God, jeez. So, that 12-dimensional mind space is where I'm at right now. Again, I'm back on the particle physics concept, I'll be back.